All right, viewers, now it's time for the WION Newsroom. Joining me is Adya Juneja, who bring us all the updates from business, Miraj Shah for technology, and Athira Shashidharan, who will bring us updates from sports. Let's start with the business updates. Adya, take it away.
Well, thank you, Shivan. We have a lot lined up for you, but let's start with one of the magnificent 7 news. Alphabet, the parent company of Google, briefly touched a $4 trillion market valuation, driven by renewed investor confidence in its artificial intelligence strategy. Now, shares of the Google parent hit a record high before paring gains, capping a sharp turnaround in sentiment. The rally follows strong momentum around Google's Gemini AI, with reports saying Apple's next-generation AI models will be based on Gemini under a multi-year deal. Samsung is also expanding its use of Gemini across more AI-powered devices. Alphabet has now overtaken Apple to become the world's second most valuable company, with shares up about 65% this year, outperforming its big tech peers. Growth in Google Cloud, booming demand for its AI chips, and steady ad revenue have reinforced confidence, marking Alphabet as the latest tech giant to join the $4 trillion club. Now, speaking of demand, US consumer prices are likely to pick up by in the month of December, now rebounding from an artificially soft November reading distorted by the government shutdown. Economists expect CPI to rise 0.3% month-on-month, with annual inflation holding at 2.7%. Now, the shutdown delayed price collection, forcing the Labour Department to impute data, especially for rents, while holiday discounts further dampened November prices. As those effects unwind, prices for goods like cars, furniture and apparel are expected to rise. Now, core inflation is also seen accelerating, reinforcing expectations the Federal Reserve will keep interest rates unchanged at its January meeting, despite political pressure and lingering economic uncertainty. Staying with United States now, a lot of US banks have warned that President Trump's proposed 10% cap on credit card interest rates could force millions of Americans and small businesses to lose access to credit. Now, this cap, which is aimed at easing the cost of living, would mostly hit subprime borrowers, but lenders said it could also raise fees, cut rewards and restrict most accounts. Now, industry groups argue that credit cards are vital for consumer spending and bank profits, and a cap could make lending unprofitable. Some research, however, suggests a cap could save Americans $100 billion a year, though with reduced rewards for many cardholders. Experts say implementation would require congressional action and is unlikely in the short term. And finally, Indian car makers saw December sales jump to 26.8%, marking their biggest monthly rise of 2025 last year, as government tax cuts made vehicles more affordable. Dealers received 399,216 units, pushing quarterly dispatches up 21% to a record 1.28 million. For the full year, sales grew about 5%, outpacing 2024, with forecasts now pointing to 8% growth by March 2026. Strong festive demand and interest in new models help sustain momentum, now despite earlier expectation of slower growth. And that's it from the world of business. Now, for all the tech updates, it's over to you, Miraj.
Thank you, Adya. Now, according to a Reuters report, there are a number of Starlink connections that are active in Iran. These are being used to broadcast visuals of the nationwide protests to the world. Now, the Iranian regime had banned Starlink in June this year after the 12-day war with Israel. Flouters of the law face lengthy prison sentences, hefty fines, and public floggings. According to reports, the regime has also targeted Starlink satellites with military-grade jammers. SpaceX, that operates Starlink, has not officially confirmed that satellites are enabled in orbit over Iran, but visuals of the sweeping crackdown across Iran have been filtering out of the country on social media. In other news, Apple will use Google's Gemini models to power its revamped Siri under a multi-year deal. The agreement deepens the alliance between the two tech giants as competition intensifies in the artificial intelligence race. The deal is seen as a major vote of confidence in Google's AI technology and bolsters Alphabet's position against rival OpenAI. Now, Google's AI already powers much of Samsung's Galaxy AI, but the Siri integration opens access to Apple's installed base of more than 2 billion active devices worldwide. The company added that Gemini will provide the foundation for Apple Foundation models and power other future Apple Intelligence features. Apple has been trailing its competitors when it comes to AI being integrated into its ecosystem. Finally, Meta Platforms has excluded Italy from its ban on rival chatbots operating on WhatsApp. The move follows an interim order from Italy's antitrust authority, AGCM. Now, the watchdog had ordered Meta last month to suspend the ban while it investigates suspected abuse of market dominance against the company. The probe was launched after complaints from rival AI models that Meta said phone numbers with an Italian country code are currently exempt from WhatsApp's updated terms of service. And that's all we have for you from tech. For sports, it's over to you, Athira.
Thank you so much, Miraj. Here are the quick sports updates from across the globe. We'll begin with football first. Real Madrid's manager, Xabi Alonso, has left the club after 7 months in charge. There was reportedly a breakdown in relations with the squad's senior members as well as the club's hierarchy. The final straw was a defeat to Barcelona in the Spanish Super Cup final. Premier League clubs could be on alert after this development. Alonso's former teammate, Arbeloa, has been confirmed as the club's new team manager. Arbeloa was earlier the head coach of the Real Madrid's B team. He will take charge of the senior team for the first time on Wednesday when they take on Albacete in the Spanish Cup. In cricket now, Australian captain Alyssa Healy has said that she will retire from all forms of cricket following the upcoming series against India in March. The 35-year-old wicketkeeper batter has more than 7,000 runs and 275 dismissals to her name in all formats of the game. She led Australia to a historic 16-0 win against England in the Ashes in 2025. She has won the ODI World Cup twice and T20 World Cup on 6 occasions. Healy is married to Australia fast bowler Michelle Stark. Well, with that, we have come to the end of the sports segment. It's back to you, Shivan.
Thanks so much, Athira, and also a thank you to Miraj and Adya for getting us all those updates. And thanks so much for everybody who's joined in. We'll step into a short break now. That's a wrap on WION Newsroom and this bulletin. Short break. Stay with us. News and updates continue on the other side.